just as a packet for chapter 3. If you notice, this one again has the checklist up top. As I'm grading, I'm seeing that like for day 1, some people didn't do their definitions and write them on here, which was confusing because that's one of the first things on the checklist. So you need to look up the definitions for the vocab words. Read chapter 3. We've already done those 2 things. Answer the discussion questions, complete the location snapshot activity, and complete the vocab activity. So let's look through this, because if we just look at all of those, it can seem very overwhelming. And I don't want you to be overwhelmed. I want this to be a level of work that you're comfortable with. Let me put my microphone on. So the vocab should already be done. Thumbs up if you did the vocab. Good. The next part, here we go, that's better. The next part are the discussion questions. We're going to skip over those for right now because those are the parts that kids try and answer while I'm giving directions. So skip those for right now. Look please at location snapshots. So everybody see the section called location snapshots. This I think is kind of cool because this is your thinking, your brain at work. Are you ready? Count Olaf forbade the children from going into the tower of his home. Think about what you have learned about Count Olaf. What do you think is in the tower? Now, do we have any idea from the novel what's in the tower? No idea at all. None. So this is you thinking about what could be in the tower. What do you think is in the tower and why? You don't have to answer that question there because there are no lines. Are you with me? In the table below, name 5 items you believe Count Olaf may be hiding in the tower. So this is tricky, Lauren, because I'm not going to just write, I think he has snacks in there. Snacks, maybe that's where he keeps all his books. He has a pet kitten. I'm not going to just write down random things. Okay? If you had to think about, put down this paper for a second, like just push this out of your mind. If you had to think about what could be in my house, would, I have a pet cat, right?
Yeah.
No.
Would cat toys be a reasonable guess?
Yes.
Yeah.
Because I have a cat. Would books be a reasonable guess?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a teacher. Would probably the same type of toys that you have in your houses be a good guess?
No.
Really? I have a daughter your age.
Oh, right.
So you have to take what you know about the character and use that. So think about what you know about Count Olaf. In years past, I've had kids write down completely ridiculous things. We're not ready. The way to keep yourself grounded is you also have to write an explanation. So what's one thing we can agree that he might have in his house? Okay, so for item, you can all write this, just this one. For number 1, you can write, you think he has a security camera. If you think he does. You think he may have a security camera. My explanation is he has eye pictures everywhere. Like he's watching. Yeah. Maybe he is. You're going to need to write a little bit small. This whole thing is my explanation. Okay? So I wrote down security camera. Then I wrote, he has eye pictures everywhere like he's watching. Maybe he is. Does that explanation make sense and go with why there would be a security camera? Yes. You should write this whole thing. So pay attention to the answers. This answer here, that's short. It's like a phrase or words, right? This answer here is long. Sentences. Does that make sense and help you to know how to answer this question? Also, then you only have 4 more things that you need to answer. Don't write any more down yet. The next direction says in the frame, which is just this little square area here, in the frame, create an illustration of Count Olaf's tower room. Be sure to put the 5 items that you described. So in my picture, there needs to be a security camera, or maybe like monitors where he's watching the security camera or something like that. Would his room be clean?
No.
No, because is any other room in his house clean?
No.
No, so I'm taking what I know about Count Olaf and I'm applying it here. I'm making connections. That's another PYPID word. I'm making connections between what I know and what I predict. I can't guess that he's going to have a purple sparkly room because that would make no sense. No drawing, no writing, pencils down. That would make no sense based on any evidence that I've read. Does that help you with this page a little bit more? Because this is one that kids tend to struggle with until we do this review. So pay really good attention and, you should be okay. For the back. Quick review. A noun is a naming word. It names a person, place, or thing, or idea. A verb is an action. An adjective, I'm just going to write AD, I'll write out. An adjective tells about a noun. An adverb tells about a verb. Usually ends with the letters ly. Pay attention. This, like your point of view and your other good work, can be a process of elimination. Alright? But I want you to think. Let's look at the first word, briny. Can you have a briny ocean? Yes, because it means salty. Can you have a briny run? No. No. So what is it, an adjective or an adverb? What does it tell about a noun or a verb? It's an adjective because it tells about a noun. So under adjective, write briny. Evan, you're on the wrong page. Under adjective, write briny. And then cross briny off. Yes, honey?
Are we going to be able to play a Kahoot again later?
The Quizlet? We might.
Yeah, the Quizlet.
We might. Look down to where it says solemnly. Can you solemnly carp?
No.
Can you solemnly walk?
Yeah.
So then it's an adverb. If it doesn't describe a noun, but it describes a verb, then it's an adverb.
And horizon is a noun.
Horizon is a noun because horizon's a thing. Does this help you a little bit? Eyes here real quick. You need to actually think about these. If you're not sure, where can you find this information? For dictionary.com for part of speech. It's better if you remember the definition and you're able to put it in there. Like that will save you time. But if you can't remember the definition, look it up. There's no just staring blankly. Now let's go back to everybody's favorite part, the questions. Open them up. Discussion questions. The narrator opened this chapter by discussing how the first impressions are often incorrect. He then remarked that the orphan's impressions were sadly correct. Why do you think this author uses this text feature? So he uses basically a non-example. Do you think that's good? Does it help the story or not? And you get to have your own opinion there, but you have to explain it. Do you see all those lines?
Yeah.
They should all be filled with, and this is important, sentences. We don't write yes because. We're in 5th grade. We repeat the question in our answer. If you're not repeating the question in your answer, you're not getting full credit. If you're not writing sentences, you're not getting any credit. If you're writing because they said so, that's no points. The narrator declared that Klaus and Sonny were thick as thieves. Explain the meaning of this idiom. That's a tough one, right? We did. We talked about it, but let's think for a minute. If I'm going to go rob a bank. I'm not. I won't. But let's say that I was planning on it because, I went crazy for a few minutes. I decided to rob a bank. I'm going to bring a friend with me to help. Does my friend need to know my plan?
Yes.
Would I tell everybody else my plan?
No.
No. I tell my friend, thick as thieves. If we were going to rob something, then my friend and I would know the plan really well. Think about movies that you've watched. Would we go into the bank and discuss our plan when we were there? No, we would already know it, right?
Yeah.
What happens, and this is a common expression, so take away the thieves part. Forget that part. But what about when Mr. Mink and I change classes, right?
Yeah.
And I tell you to use process of elimination. And he told you to use process of elimination in the same day. Do you think we kind of plan that stuff out?
No.
Yep. Because we work together. Because we know each other well, you and your best friend may be thick as thieves. It's just an expression. It doesn't mean you're actually going to go rob a bank. Please don't ever rob banks. But it does mean that you know each other really well. And do you have someone in your life? You probably do. That you can just kind of look at them and you know what they're thinking? Or you don't have to say anything, but you can be like, go that way, and they know right where to go to and meet you.
We have a cyber link.
Yeah, like a cyberlink. Describe the orphan's relationship with each other. Use evidence from the story to support your response. These questions are very impressively worded. Don't let that confuse you. When it says describe the orphan's relationship with each other, okay, well obviously they're brother and sister, right? Do we already know that? Brother and sisters. Do we already know that?
Yeah.
Do you think I want more detail than that?
Yes.
Look at all those lines. My goodness, there's a lot of room for examples in those lines.
I'm still happy.
I am so happy too, Colton. Thank you. Colton and I are thick as thieves.
Yay.
He's so happy just like me. Alright, you're going to work on these. But here's the challenge. I want your best work and best answers, okay? Don't just rush through. Cut.